Welcome to the Glacier Line YouTube channel. It is August the 11th, 2017, about 7:30 in the evening Eastern Time. This video tonight is called To Glue or Not to Glue. The reason why, very recently on multiple Facebook, internet, websites, there has been an argument ongoing about whether you should glue down your roadbed, whether you should glue down your ballast, your track, and there are people on both sides of the issue. One set of people saying that gluing is perfectly fine, and the other people saying not to use glue at all in track work construction. So I thought I would do a video tonight, kind of a scientific experiment, for everyone to see whether or not they should think about gluing down their track or not. So what we'll start with is this. What you're looking at in the video is a piece of fiberboard, actually 2 strips of fiberboard. It's 1/2 inch thick, comes from Menards. I really like it because it costs 1/3 the price of Homosote. Very inexpensive and equally effective. Better yet, it's actually black in color on one side, which is a perfect base color to start scenery or track work. Next, what we have is Midwest cork roadbed, and on top of the Midwest cork roadbed we have a piece of Gargraves track with the wooden ties, 3-rail O-gauge track, excuse me, and then we have HO gauge track behind it. It's Atlas Code 100 flex track, and I cut 2 straight sections of it. They are approximately the same length. So what I ended up doing is I glued this side to your right, nearest my hand, and on the left side, this piece over here is the ballast is just laid on top. The cork is held down actually by heavy staples. I have a heavy duty staple gun also coming from Menards. Greatest way in the world to put down cork, especially on curbs, because these staples go down really quick. You can hold your cork in place and then just staple it, and no time flat you'll have it. So we'll start this demonstration by first, let's say we want to change our layout. Just a fact of reality, most people don't have layouts in place for an awful long time, and then those that are fortunate enough and have layouts in place, we are forever adding and changing sidings. I've done it multiple times on the Glacier Line too. So the first thing to do, let me start by getting my trusty shop back here. So let's say we would want to move this track. We want to remove this from the area of the board, maybe add a turnout in this same area. So I'll turn this on. It'll be really loud here for a minute, but I'm going to turn it on and I will remove the ballast. Again, this is glued down. This, just like in reality, is just laying on the rails. Well, as we can see, I'm not having a lot of success getting down the glued down ballast to come off at all. Let me see what I can do with the ballast that's not glued down on the other track. Well, that's completely gone. That probably took 5 seconds. Well, this ballast is not going to come off using a vacuum cleaner. Well, since we just have the ballast removed on the side that's not glued down, the Gargraves track with the wooden ties is actually held down by a couple of wooden Gargraves screws. So let's see how long it's going to take to get this track up and out of the way. Remove this screw. Okay, and there we'll remove the second screw, and there we go. The track is, the track is not damaged. There's nothing on it. Okay, well that's good. Let's see the HO scale track. The Atlas track. I do have it tacked down with rail spikes. I can slide it under my little screwdriver under here to pry it up. Here. That was a few seconds worth. Okay. Here's the track. Perfect and ready to be used. Again, the last thing we'll do is we'll see how hard it's going to be to get this roadbed up, not glued down, just stapled. And you don't want to damage it. I kind of reach underneath of it first, and that way it's just kind of easy to pull the staples right out of it. Okay. There we go. And I've lifted it up, and as we can see, we're ready to reuse. If we wanted to relay this cork roadbed and the track that was not glued in place, we'd be ready to go. The board here, we could finish, cleaning the rest of it off, vacuum cleaner, clean it, and the surface is absolutely perfect and ready to be reused again. So that's the non-glued side. Let's go back to the glued side here and see if there's anything we can do. This track is just glued down. Let's see if we can. Well, let me see. I've got a knife. Oh, and I should have said it is just white Elmer's glue. White Elmer's glue mixed, laid underneath. Oh, hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, the cork kind of tore in a kind of a mess. Here's the track. And the surface is okay. All this stuff is matted in between. It would take. Yeah, it would definitely take a little while to get that, because with the wood tie. So that's really a mess. And the cork, this cork, you're not going to be able to reuse that cork. It's just, you would really have to really scrape and dig to get that off of there. Yep, and the rest of this, well, and you can see it's a major mess on the hand. Let's see if we can get just the one part is really stuck. There it goes. There it goes. And here's the track. Still neatly ballasted. I mean, it'd be okay. Just probably taking a bright boy on the upper rails and stuff. I mean, it's messy. It would be. You'd have to dig on the bottom of this too, because all of this mess would have to come off of there to be able to get that to lay down flush on a surface again. I mean, you could do it, but it would just take the work to do it. And like the other side, the cork came up, and really kind of surprisingly, I thought it would. I've had it rip coming up before. This time it did not rip, but as you can see, the surface is covered with this ballast. Fine ballast, and it's matted on here. Man, I think you can see. I mean, it's a real major mess. Excuse me for just 1 second. There we go. Got some of it off of me. I have a mess to clean up. So here is your end product, what you have to work with, and as you can see, lots of that needs to be scraped off of there as well. So you still have quite a bit of work to do gluing. If you're going to use the gluing method, it's going to take you longer to clean up the mess versus using staples to hold down your cork roadbed and screws for the track. Even if I'm using HO track, I'm still going to use the rail spikes. I'm still going to use the Midwest cork roadbed, which is an excellent product. But just like in real life,